Hello there, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining me once again here on Talk and Fight for another episode of Boxing News Today. I thought I'd just mention quickly that if you're a fan of Talk and Fight and you're a fan of one of our hosts, David Rajuli from South Africa, he's going to be traveling up to the Netherlands to compete in a boxing match featuring 5 other bouts in the Netherlands, and he'll be facing Ala Al Majoud. Now, Majoud is undefeated. He's 9-0. So this is going to be a heck of a fight. We've got it for you live streaming on talkandfight.com this Saturday, and I'm sure we'll hold it in archive as well for those who might not be able to join us at that time. All the details you need to know are on talkandfight.com. Go visit the site and join in the fun, as we will. All right, let's get back to business. Here we go. Lawrence Okolie. This fella's moving up. He promises he'll be a different fighter at a new weight with a new trainer, Joe Gallagher. Okolie will challenge Lucas Roszensky for the WBC Bridgerweight title on May 24th on Live Sports. Okay, and he believes a victory would lead him to Chris Billam-Smith, a rematch that is, and other big fights. And what other big fights might he be talking about? Well, the former WBO cruiserweight champ, Okolie, revealed that he eventually wants to move up to heavyweight and take on former world title challenger Dillian Whyte. Okolie, by the way, he's sporting a record of 19-1, 14 knockouts, doesn't say when he wants to fight Whyte, who turns 36 in April, by the way, and showed signs of decline in his recent fight against Christian Hammer. So waiting too long could be pointless for Okolie because Whyte is clearly nearing the end of his career. But earlier this month, Whyte emerged from a nearly two-year layoff following a knockout loss to Tyson Fury in 2022 to defeat Christian Hammer by third-round stoppage, and that was held in Castlebar, Ireland. You might remember I reported on that result a week or two ago. So with respect to this upcoming Bridgerweight title bout, Okolie will fight. It's May 24th in Poland against a 38-year-old WBC Bridgerweight champ. As I said, Roszensky's 15-0, 14 knockouts. And the fight makes sense for Okolie if he plans on moving up to heavyweight shortly after because there are no chances of interesting money-making fights at Bridgerweight. And he's already more than big enough to compete at heavyweight. He's bigger and more powerful than IBF WBAWO heavyweight champ Alexander Usyk, for example, says this particular writer on BoxNews24.com. However, Okolie lacks boxing ability, which could be a problem at heavyweight against the hard-hitting, more skilled fighters, and that's an understatement if I've ever read one. It's fair to say, however, that if a basic slugger like Chris Billam-Smith gave him nightmares beating him by 12-round decision last year, a decent second-tier heavyweight like Whyte or Derek Chisora would beat him. So, for now, Lawrence said, Dillian Whyte's now back. Obviously, everyone knows from back where I was Commonwealth and British champion, I wanted that fight. That's definitely on my radar. Outside of that, we'll see what the landscape looks like. I've been looking at the heavyweights and seeing how much fun they've been having up there. Well, I want to have a go as well. I'm sure he does. Stand in line, bud. All right. Let's move along to Devin Haney, who's standing in line, I think, to fight Tank. But anyway, right at the moment, he said he feels that Ryan Garcia is an alcoholic with his crazy behavior, and it says it won't stop him from being prepared for their fight on April 20th. The WBC light welterweight champ Haney, 31-0, undefeated, 50 knockouts, is already looking past Ryan towards a more lucrative fight against Gervonta Davis that he and his father, Bill Haney, would like to make next. That might be a problem for Haney, given that he's rehydrating to 165. Tank would insist on Haney agreeing to a rehydration clause and possibly at catch weight. Devin isn't going to agree to either of those things, so the chances are quite likely that fight's not going to happen. See if there's any other comments from anyone else. Said Haney, we know the Tank Davis fight is a super fight, and that's a fight that I would like to make, but we've got to see. And quite frankly, as long as Haney agrees to the weight stipulations and Tank's purse demands, a fight between them could happen. continuing, Haney said about Ryan, I don't know what tactics he's got in trying to draw people away from the fight. We've never seen no shit like this ever. Talk about the fight, said Haney about Ryan talking about non-boxing related stuff. And you might have caught what Ryan was yapping on about the other day with respect to that ship hitting the bridge in Baltimore. Anyway, let's see what else Devin said. He's talked about things he barely knows anything about. I know he's an alcoholic. He drinks. That's when he comes up with all this bullshit, when he's drunk. Whatever Ryan is going to do, if he's talking or not, faking, that's not going to change what I'm going to do to him regardless. He's going to go in and do his game plan, whatever it is, regardless. He can do all the acting he wants. That's not going to stop me from preparing and being the best that I can be. Haney, by the way, sees Teofimo Lopez in the horizon as well as a tough challenger. We've seen Teo at the top level, he said. We haven't seen Mateus at that elite level. Just on, when asked what would be a hard fight between him, Teofimo, and Subriel Mateus, he said, just off the top of my head, I would say Teo. He's got more experience. So let's see how that shakes up after Haney clobbers Ryan Garcia. All right, moving along to some women's news. On DAZN, on April 27th, you're going to see Jarika O'Quinn take on Peter McGrail. I believe that is a rematch. Is going to enjoy some championship support from the women when 2016 Olympic silver medalist Beatriz Ferreira meets Yanina Lescano for the vacant IBF lightweight title. You'll recall, according to badlefthook.com, that the IBF previously ordered Caroline Dubois to meet Rianne Dixon for the belt, which Katie Taylor had vacated as part of her move to 140. Dixon instead elected to fight Karen Elizabeth Carabajal for the WBO belt in 2 weeks. And when Ferreira, 4-0, got the call, Dubois bowed out in turn. The Beast, as she's called, enjoyed a standout run in Tokyo, capped off by competitive and entertaining defeat to Kelly Harrington in the finals. She's got her sights set on the gold medal run in Paris that, should she defeat Lescano 14-3, it would make her the first active world champion to subsequently win gold. And this should be the easier part of the equation, as Lescano gave Estelle Massili all kinds of trouble in 2022, but failed to take a round from Dubois last June. Anyway, said Ferreira, I'm very excited to be fighting for a world title. It's just my fifth pro fight. A few other opponents didn't accept the challenge to fight me for the world title. I don't understand that attitude, but Lescano is brave enough to accept, and I know she'll be a tough challenge. I want to put on a great show in Liverpool next month and make sure I go to the Olympics in Paris as the reigning world champion in both the professionals and amateurs. That would be very special. I won silver at the last Olympics in Tokyo, and I'm very focused and confident that I can upgrade that medal to gold in Paris. By the way, other undercard highlights include the latest from Pat McCormack, Junaid Bostan, Maisie Rose Courtney, and Pete McGrail's brother, Joe McGrail. So some good fighting going on in Liverpool still. Good to know. Anyway, let's move along to other British news. Somewhat of a disappointment, I'm sure, for some people in Nottingham. A rather huge name in British boxing, Leigh Wood, who was, fighting Josh Warrington, as you might recall, last October. He knocked out Warrington, and that win saw Wood retain his WBA featherweight title. However, shortly afterwards, Wood confirmed that he would vacate the belt after difficulties making the 126-pound weight limit. As a result, it was expected that Wood would make the jump to 126 and likely rematch Warrington, allowing Wood to finally headline a card at the City Ground, home of his beloved Nottingham Forest Football Club. Yet, it appears as though talks have not progressed and that the opportunity may well have passed by. While speaking to the media, Wood confirmed that he has left Matchroom Boxing due to a break clause in his contract should they be unable to deliver him a fight at the City Ground, whilst maintaining his confidence of defeating Warrington again. He said, "For my last fight, the city ground kept being promised. Things didn't work out because of the football season or the opponent or whatever obstacle was in the way. In my contract, I put in there that no matter what, if I win, I'm going to be going to the city ground. If you can't deliver this for me, you have to let me go and I'll try to do it through different avenues." Matchroom did everything they could to, but there were a few things that happened with the club that didn't help us. So I'm a free agent at the moment. I've got a good relationship with Matchroom, but whoever I sign with, if it's not Matchroom, I'd like a plan penciled in for the city ground. So any possible fight at the city ground would need to take place after the 11th of May due to the ongoing Premier League season. But it remains to be seen whether a different promoter will dare to take the reins and stage the fight. Obviously, that would be one heck of a challenge. Finally, just a little bit of sad news to report out of Germany. Lately, former female boxer Alesia Graf has passed away. She was known as the Tigress. She challenged for the WBC Superfly twice. She was a WBC Bantam title and WBO Super Bantam title winner, but losing challenger. Sorry, not winner. Losing in all hard-fought efforts. She would win the WIBF and GBU titles along the way, however, finishing a respectable 29-8. 13 knockouts. Very impressive record. She was only 43 years of age. Rest in peace, champ. And that, Talkin' Fight fans, sadly, ends this particular episode of Talkin' Fight Boxing News. I invite you to join me again, 11 a.m. Here on Talkin' Fight. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And we'll see you for that next episode with more boxing news.